4 adults, yeah. We haven't lost anybody yet.
Getting 20 youth groups up to the Holden Village Retreat Center for a weekend of fun and service. That in itself is a bit of a miracle. Yet youth workers hope for even more, that the lives and faith of youth are forever changed by service and mission experiences, that the service they do is meaningful and makes a difference in the world. How can we make this happen?
Service by itself is good, but when you apply the learning process to it, then you add something. You draw out the flavor, so to speak. It's a deeper, richer experience. Young people are in this place where they're struggling with their identity and they're searching for their place in the world and what they want to do. And perhaps it's through service and service learning that they begin to think about, what are the gifts I have? What do I like to do? What do I feel called to do? What am I excited about? Service learning is a 4-step process that begins with preparation and then moves to action, the actual service experience, and then is followed by reflection on the experience and ultimately celebration.
Jesus used a service learning model, if you will, when he was shaping his disciples. He helped them to see their daily life activities in a new perspective. He helped them to see that what they were about, their fishing or their laboring in the fields, as parts of building the reign of God.
Most groups forget to do intentional preparation for the service experience because we're so busy getting ready for other things and getting the logistics figured out and getting the van gassed up and making sure we have supplies.
Preparation includes helping the youth to get an understanding of what it is they're getting into. So it might be specifics about the sort of activity they're going to be involved in so that they're not apprehensive.
Ask people individually and as a group, what are you expecting to happen? What are you looking forward to? That gives them an idea to begin to think about what it is they're going to learn and what they are going to experience. What do they personally want to get out of this service experience?
Spend some time doing your group building, and I think part of it is being intentional about looking at the Word and talking about why we would want to do servant ministry. It's not just about making ourselves feel good and patting ourselves on the back, but it's to serve as Christ served and to follow that example and model.
I've been asked to give a blessing for all of you going out on your work projects this morning. Go out this morning into your labors with laughter and good cheer. May fun follow you forever. May God bless you with a fabulous morning, and may grace rain down upon you always. Cue drummers and blessers.
Gotta do some service. All right.
Something important in the action stage is to be flexible to unforeseen circumstances. Something always comes up, the supplies weren't there, this wasn't the project we expected to do. The tone of a joyful attitude will often be set by the adult leaders.
A good sense of humor goes a long way. That does help. And if you can get your kids to joke about what they're doing and about themselves and about silly things that happen.
Because action and reflection are so closely intertwined and they're so important to happen together, we can begin doing some of the reflection activities while we're doing the service experience. So whether that's pausing after lunch to have a conversation, how do you feel about this, what are you thinking, what role are you playing, how might your gifts be used differently, we can begin to have reflection activities occurring while we're still in the actual activity or service experience.
To me, it's as though Jesus used the service learning model to create disciples. At the end of every day or at the break times of their journeys with Jesus, Jesus would invite the disciples to reflect on what just happened. And so he grew and developed disciples exactly by that process of action and reflection and then acting again.
Catholics call it praxis. It's active reflection on practical experiences. And so, but instead of going like a circle, I always draw it up like a spiral or a coil, because you're always doing your action now differently based on your reflection. So as you do action, reflection, action, reflection, action, reflection, your action will change based on how you've reflected on it. And that can then change attitudes or give a different perspective as then you continue on in your service project. Often when we do reflection on service experiences, we do a couple of things. We stick to the old standard of sitting around in a circle and asking questions and inviting people to share their feelings or what they think. Or we use journaling, and we send people off and they do some journal writing. The challenge is to think about creative ways to do reflection, to include young people that have multiple learning styles where just talking in a group is not comfortable or journal writing is not comfortable. Some of the ways that we can get after reflection is to have young people create videos, to write stories, to write poetry, to create music, to dance, to paint. So if we provide multiple opportunities and think outside the box creatively, allow young people to focus on how they learn and how they best express themselves, then we can do some very good, deep reflection on the service experience.
Kids run deep, and they all process on their own time frame, and some of it ends up coming out sideways, you know? You just need to allow them the different opportunities to do that.
There were some significant things that touched their hearts, and when they would share it, others would listen, because nothing's more powerful than somebody your own age sharing something that meant a lot to them or they were surprised about.
I think they come away with new eyes. They have a different perspective of the world, of different people, and maybe more importantly themselves. They have a different idea of who they are. They have a little different idea about what it means to live out their faith.
I think they're constantly transformed by the ability to give back to the community or to their world and to feel that they have a purpose that's beyond passing the SATs, and that they really can make an impact in a small way, but collectively it's huge, is a big aha moment when you're in high school.
Good ice cream for everyone. All right. Thanks, Aaron. All right, you're welcome. Your picture. Yeah. Fire one on three. 1, 2, 3.
Celebration, some people just see it as an add-on or something that you do if you have time, but really it is an important part of the entire process.
It's the best part of the whole trip, and it makes you want to get ready for the next one.
So it provides the time and the place to really say, now what do we do with this, and how can we share our experiences with others? It gives us a chance to tell the story to people that supported us or want to know more about this experience. And if anything, it also gives a chance for continued reflection, to continue to ask, what does this mean for me? What does this mean for my life?
I think at first the process can seem kind of tedious, and it's like, oh, do I really have to go through all these steps? And I think the answer is yes. Like, it's worth it to do the preparation and the action and the reflection and then the celebration.
People can go and serve, but what are they going to take away from it that's really important? You know, it's not just about going and doing, it's about going and doing and then persevering afterwards, and making that a part of your life and an experience that's going to affect you in your future.
It becomes a model of life for folks that have been exposed and had the opportunities to do service, that they see other ways they can be serving.
Over time, service experiences, and if they're done intentionally and they're done well, will lead to some changes in a young person's life. So we're really hoping that young people will explore their sense of vocation, their sense of call, and how their gifts are being used. And service learning can help them discover what it is that they might want to do with their life.